Don't do this at home.
Well guys, it's time to tackle the age-old question, pun intended. How much does aging a cigar in your humidor affect it? This is going to be done very scientifically. Very. I reviewed this cigar, the AJ Fernandez New World Cameroon, about 4 months ago. And my intention was 3 months later to smoke it again and see how it changed. What I didn't realize is that 3 months later was right in the middle of hunting season. So it didn't get done. But here I am, better late than never, to answer this question and see what the difference is. I did the painful thing of going back and looking at my old video and seeing what I said about it, what I thought about it, because I have horrible memory. So I have to go back and refresh and try and figure out what it was that I thought about the cigar. And it kind of jogged my memory a little bit. So I'm going to smoke this thing today and try and see what the difference is. It's been sitting in the humidor for at least 4 months. This is one of the same ones that I bought when I initially reviewed that cigar. It's been sitting in the humidor ever since. In case anyone's going to ask, what I do for cigars that I'm going to age in a humidor, I have one humidor that I have set aside that is set between 70 and 72 as far as the humidity is concerned. And then I have two other humidors, one that I'm going to use for reviews and one that is just my everyday smokes. And then I have a couple others that I use for everyday smokes. Anyways, the point is that when they're aged for several months at a time, it's between 70 and 72 as far as the humidity is concerned. And then the other humidors that I have, which I have just to grab the cigars out of and smoke, I keep it around 69. And the reason for that is that when they're aging, I want to make sure that they have a nice lot of humidity to keep in the leaves and everything like that. But they smoke a lot better when you've got a little bit lower humidity. I've even heard of people smoking them as low as like 65. So to each their own, but I've had people ask me that question before, so there you go. As far as the aging question is concerned, again, I've heard both sides of the argument. I was on a live stream with Robert Holt from Southern Draw the other day, and I mentioned that I had a Jacob's Ladder that I was hanging on to that I hadn't smoked yet. And he made a point to say that we don't ship those until they are aged and ready to smoke. Unless you're saving it for an occasion, there's no reason for you to let that sit in your humidor. Now, I'm sure that's true, and I know that manufacturers, in fact every year, manufacturers release new blends and then they get delayed, whether it's because of shipping, but a lot of times it's because they feel that the blends aren't ready yet. So they won't ship them until those cigars have had time to sit and age to the point where they're satisfied with them before they ship them out to customers. That being said, does it sitting in your humidor make it even better? That's the question. So, I'm going to smoke this, and I'm not going to check in like I do on every review. I'm just going to give you my thoughts right at the beginning, and then we'll sort of kind of review with how it's smoked towards the end. Let's get lit. Well, based on what I said before, this is starting out pretty much the same. In my other video I said it started off with a lot of black pepper at the beginning. More back of the throat, actually, on this one. Back of the throat pepper. And then toast and almonds were the flavors that I picked out early on. I'm not really expecting the flavors to change. I'm just kind of curious more about the body, the smokability of it, and the blending of the flavors together, which is difficult to perceive and make note of it, more as it's something that, oh, it just seems better this time, you know? So I'm going to try and do my best to describe that and really pay attention as I smoke this cigar as to how mature it feels and how blended together it feels. So I'm going to keep smoking this thing, and I'm probably just going to come back when I'm near the nub or whenever I feel like it. So, here goes. All right. So there we go. How was it compared to 4 months ago? About the same. Truthfully, not noticeably different. I had the darndest time keeping the thing lit. Could be because it's just blazing cold out here. I was sitting on the front porch just freezing. But it was smoother. It was more together, I guess. I don't know. It's really hard to put your finger on, what makes a cigar so much better. A couple of examples that I can think of just off the top of my head is I got a buddy who religiously ages his cigars in his humidors. He even writes the date, I think, that he got them on the cellophane before he puts them in the humidor, so he knows, how long has this been? Okay, I can't smoke that one yet. And how long ago was it? A little while ago, I had some cigars that I'd ordered, and I smoked a couple of them, and I was like, I don't really care for these. So they just sat in the humidor for a year. I think I left them sitting there, and finally one day I just went back and I was like, I don't really feel like smoking any of my other good cigars. I'll just grab one of these. And the thing was phenomenal. It was so good. And I can't even remember what it was exactly. But I just remember thinking to myself, I let that thing sit in my humidor for a year, and all of a sudden it's a phenomenal cigar. When I remember I don't think I even smoked all of the first one just because I didn't care for it at all. Let it sit for a year, and suddenly it was great to me. And a lot of that could be, how my palate changed over the course of a year, or it could just be, hey, maybe that one was a dud. I don't know. But there's something to it, letting tobaccos rest and age. Cigar makers do it for a reason. So I certainly don't think a cigar is going to get worse if you let it sit for 6 months, or like me, even a year. So I definitely recommend letting cigars sit in your humidor for as long as you can. As long as as long as you're able to, because I don't know, me, it's like, I want to smoke these cigars, I just got them, and it's difficult for me to be patient and let them sit and let them rest. But there is a noticeable difference. The tobaccos blend together. You get a more mature flavor out of it. And one thing, actually, sorry, there is one noticeable thing about this cigar is I don't remember it having any strength to it. I didn't watch all of my previous reviews, so I don't know if I mentioned that at the end of the review or anything like that. But this one definitely had I don't know about significant, but a good amount of strength to it, to where it's noticeable to me today. And I don't know if that's a product of it resting and maybe the nicotine building up in it. That doesn't make any sense, but it's noticeable today, and it wasn't noticeable then, as far as I can remember. So that's all I really got. Is it scientific? No, I know I said it was. I was joking, but there's something to it, and give it a shot. Order some cigars, smoke a couple when you first get them. Let them sit and give me your own opinion. I know a lot of you guys have an opinion on this already. Get down in the comment section. Let me know what you guys do. And yeah, there's no right way or wrong way. It's all personal preference. But share with me some of your experiences. Let me know what you guys think. And we'll catch you next time. Happy smoking.